Welcome to another Odds HQ NBA playoff betting preview video for Friday, August the 21st. I'm Ian Cameron, and 4-0 is the record this week with our NBA playoff video best bets. We had another winner yesterday with the Milwaukee Bucks, minus 4.5 in the first quarter. They came out storming, playing much more intense defense, and it showed early in that game. They completely bottled up Orlando, and it allowed them to get out to a early big lead in that game. So an easy first quarter winner with the Bucks. 4-0 this week. Look, we're not going to go undefeated throughout the rest of the playoffs. Everybody knows that, but it would be nice to keep this streak going for as long as we can. And I'm going to put the streak to the test in a big way here tonight, because I've got not only a side bet, I've got a total bet as well on the game that we're going to talk about. It's Game 3, Western Conference Quarterfinal, the Los Angeles Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks, and we have ourselves a series on our hands. Series tied 1-1 after an impressive Game 2 victory by the Dallas Mavericks. Game 3, the LA Clippers are 5-point favorites, total 231.5 here for Game 3. Of course, the Dallas Mavericks were absolutely outstanding in Game 2, wire to wire, leading that basketball game, winning outright as 6-point underdogs, maybe even 6.5, depending on when you bet it. Just an absolutely outstanding performance from the Dallas Mavericks in that game. And what was most impressive about Dallas, it's not that they won the game outright as underdogs, it's how they won that game. If you would have told me before that game started that they would have won outright as underdogs, leading the game wire to wire, and they would have actually held the lead or even increased their lead in the fourth quarter when Luka Doncic is pretty much stapled to the bench and sitting on the bench for the entire fourth quarter because he got in foul trouble with 5 fouls in the game, I would have said, no way. You're crazy. There's no way that's possible. They can't, maintain a lead and even increase it without Doncic in the fourth quarter against this elite Clipper defense. Are you kidding me? Well, that's exactly what happened. And why did it happen? Because the bench for the Dallas Mavericks, boy, did they step up. They were absolutely terrific, all of them. Trey Burke, 16 points. Seth Curry, not Steph Curry, Seth Curry. Some people forget there's another Curry that can play basketball at a pretty good level too. Seth Curry with 15 points. Boban Marjanovic, 13 points. He also had a hilarious interview after the game on Inside the NBA on TNT. It was pretty funny with that crew. So 44 points from all of those guys on 68% shooting. Just outstanding. The bench stepped up. The bench is what got Dallas through that game and got them the win in Game 2, stepping up in a big way with Doncic on the bench. And he only played 28 minutes in the game due to all the foul trouble as well. So to be able to just whip the Clippers like that, win by double digits, in spite of the fact Luka Doncic barely played in the fourth quarter, man alive, is that ever impressive. Kudos to the Dallas Mavericks for that in that 127-114 win in Game 2. Now the question is, are they ready for battle tonight in Game 3? Because the Clippers are going to throw one hell of a punch tonight after what happened in Game 2. I would expect the Clippers to be a whole lot better, especially offensively. I know their defense got shredded in Game 2, but their offense was out of sync. I mean, they were too stagnant, too much ISO ball. Paul George missing a ton of wide open threes. It was just not a good night offensively for the Clippers. I think they will shoot the ball a lot better tonight. The question is, what about the defense? Because the Clippers, I'll tell you right now, they aren't ready for this type of pat down. You know, the pat down at the airport, security, patting you down, pat down time, pat down time, pat down time. Well, this is a different kind of pat down for the LA Clippers. This is a pat down as in Pat Beverly being down, as in out of the lineup due to injury. Obviously, Patrick Beverly didn't suit up in Game 2, and boy, did it really hamper the Clippers at the defensive end of the court. He's been downgraded to doubtful for Game 3 tonight, so I would expect him not to be available for the Clippers, and what an absence it is. I mean, his defense is just, he's in your face. He contests every shot. He just has great sense and court awareness of where he should be defensively at all times, and the Clippers now are not going to have him on the court once again, it looks like, for Game 3 tonight. And it shows in the season-long numbers for the LA Clippers defensively in terms of field goal percentage, in terms of three-point percentage allowed. And it also shows that their numbers get worse defensively without Pat Beverly. And it also shows in their over-under totals record this season. The LA Clippers in games without Patrick Beverly, they've had 19 games this season where Patrick Beverly hasn't played. The over has cashed at a 13-6 clip. 13-6, 68% in the 19 games that he hasn't played. So it shows you they're just not the same defensive team without him. Dallas shot 50% from the floor, 13 of 29, 45% from the perimeter in the Game 2 victory. Most of those fantastic numbers, again, because of the bench and not even because of Doncic, because of the foul trouble he had. So there are some concerns I have for the Clippers defensively. They've got to show me, they can dig in defensively and be better without Beverly. And that clearly they had those problems showing that in Game 2. The offense, Doc Rivers talking about after the game that we didn't share the basketball. We only had 7 assists as a team. That's unacceptable. Too much iso ball. Everybody wanting to get their own shot, and nobody wanting to share the ball. No ball movement, no player movement, stagnant, stationary. That's not the effective formula for good offensive basketball. Doc Rivers made sure he hammered that point home to his team after that Game 2 loss. So I would expect them to shoot the – look, Paul George ain't going to shoot that poorly again. Even Kawhi Leonard, he had some points in Game 2, but it was a quiet night for Kawhi Leonard. It was still a solid night, but it was a quiet night from him. I'd expect him to be better as well at that end of the floor in this game tonight. When I look at it from a side and total perspective, I'm going to go with the Clippers here. Even without Patrick Beverly, I'm going to lay the 5 with the LA Clippers. There are some strong technical trends favoring the Clippers in Game 3 tonight, and some equally strong bet against technical trends against the Mavericks tonight. The Clippers off a double-digit loss. They are 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games after a double-digit defeat. The Clippers off any sort of loss this year have been money in the bank. 21-5 straight up, 20-6. Think about that, 20-6 against the spread this season for the LA Clippers off a loss. And then you counter that with Dallas. They have some miserable ATS numbers following a win. They're 17-25-1 ATS this season following a win. So the technicals point in LA in their direction. I think they'll shoot the ball a lot better. They're not going to shoot, I think, 44% again or 29% from the perimeter, 10 for 34. The Clippers from three-point range in Game 2. I think that'll improve. Remember, the Mavericks didn't suddenly become, a juggernaut defensive team. They're still suspect at that end of the court, and I think the Clippers will be a lot better with their offensive execution tonight. So I also like the game over the total of 231, 231.5 is pretty much where this total is right now. Going to ride it that 13-6, 68% over trend without Patrick Beverly in the lineup for the LA Clippers as well. So I like a high-scoring game. I like the game to go over the total of 231, 231.5. And I like the LA Clippers bounce back time for them, -5 against the Dallas Mavericks. Clippers and over. My NBA betting preview video best bets for Odds HQ for Friday, August 21st. I'm Ian Cameron. Thanks for watching. 2 plays tonight. So let's see if we can go from 4-0 to 6-0 this week with these Odds HQ NBA betting preview video best bets. Thanks for watching. Remember to check out odds.com every day for great sports betting content and all kinds of great live shows and videos daily as well on the Odds HQ YouTube channel, which has now hit 6,000 subscribers, which is awesome. We got to keep driving that number up. Thanks to everyone that subscribed to the Odds HQ YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back with you tomorrow on Saturday for another Odds HQ NBA betting preview video.